Los Angeles Sparks versus Connecticut Sun. The Connecticut Sun, 3-19, play the Los Angeles Sparks, 9-14, at Mohegan Sun Arena on Thursday. The Los Angeles Sparks played the Washington Mystics and took home the win by a score of 93-86 in their last game. Los Angeles ended the contest, having earned a 51.5% field goal percentage, 35 out of 68, and converted 13 out of their 31 shots from beyond the arc. At the charity stripe, the Sparks made 10 of their 14 tries for a percentage of 71.4%. When it comes to grabbing rebounds, they collected a total of 33, with 11 of them being offensive. They also distributed 24 assists for the matchup, in addition to creating 15 turnovers and earning 7 steals. When talking about the defense, Los Angeles allowed 49.2% from the field on 30 of 61 shooting. Washington doled out 7 dimes and had 9 steals for this contest. Additionally, Washington snagged 26 rebounds, 7 offensive, 19 defensive, and got 4 rejections. Washington ended up shooting 76.0% at the free throw line by converting 19 of their 25 tries. They made 7 of 14 attempts from distance. Derika Hamby is one player who was a contributor for this game. She ended up with 24 points on 10 out of 14 shooting. She was on the hardwood for 33 minutes played and grabbed 14 boards. Hamby went 71.4% from the floor and also distributed 3 dimes. Los Angeles sits at 9-14, averaging 83.7 points per game, 4th in the league, while shooting 45.3% from the field and 35.1% from 3. They commit 14.9 turnovers and 18.5 fouls per game, with 32.6 rebounds and 469 total assists, ranking 7th in passing. They're also hitting 75.4% from the free throw line. When they are on the defensive end, the Sparks are able to force 13.1 turnovers per contest while drawing 19.3 fouls. They concede 34.3% from three-point land, and they are ranked 12th in the league in points per game from their opponents, 86.8. The Sparks defensively are giving up a field goal percentage of 45.3%, 301 of 445, and they relinquish 32.8 rebounds per game as a squad. They currently rank 10th in basketball in allowing assists with 488 relinquished so far this season. The last time they took the court, the Connecticut Sun took a defeat with a final score of 85-77 against the Indiana Fever. The Sun were able to corral 28 defensive rebounds and 12 offensive rebounds for a total of 40 for the game. They also coughed up the ball 8 times, while recording 10 steals for the matchup. The Fever were called for 13 personal fouls for this game, which got the Sun to the charity stripe for 16 attempts. They were able to convert 12 of the free throw tries for a clip of 75.0%. Regarding three-pointers, Connecticut knocked down 5 out of their 25 tries, 20.0%. Overall, the Sun ended up going 30 out of 83 from the floor, which gave them a rate of 36.1%. The Sun allowed the Fever to convert 29 of their 59 tries from the floor, which had them shooting 49.2% for the contest. They wrapped up this game 26.3% from beyond the arc, via 5 out of 19, and finished the contest at 22 of 29 at the free throw line, 75.9%. Regarding rebounds, Connecticut permitted Indiana to get 37 overall, 5 offensive. Tina Charles pitched in for the Sun in this game. She buried 7 of 19 for the matchup for a field goal rate of 36.8% and had 11 rebounds. Charles earned 21 points in her 34 minutes on the hardwood and had 3 dimes in the game. Connecticut has a win-loss mark of 3-19 on the season, a record that reflects the numerous struggles they faced throughout this difficult campaign. Despite entering the season with hopes of building on previous success, the Sun have been plagued by inconsistent play, poor shooting performances, and a lack of cohesion on both ends of the floor. Injuries, rotations, and a lack of offensive firepower have all contributed to their sharp decline. With one of the league's worst records, Connecticut finds itself in rebuilding territory, searching for answers and looking to give young talent extended minutes as the season winds down. Through 22 games, Connecticut has tallied 1,599 points, averaging 72.7 per game, a figure that ranks among the lowest in the league. The offensive struggles have been well documented, with the team often enduring long droughts where they are unable to generate clean looks or convert on their limited opportunities. Their offensive sets tend to lack fluidity, and their spacing frequently collapses, forcing rushed or contested shots as the shot clock expires. Much of the Suns' offense is built on half-court execution, but with low efficiency and limited shot creators, they failed to keep pace with even moderately productive teams. They also snag just 31.0 rebounds per game, a total that puts them in the bottom third of the WNBA. This rebounding deficiency has hurt them on both ends of the floor. Offensively, it limits second-chance opportunities, and defensively, it gives opponents additional chances to capitalize on missed shots. Without a consistent presence on the glass, Connecticut is often outmatched in the paint, and their inability to secure rebounds leads to extended defensive possessions and foul trouble. The Sun are committing 20.5 fouls per contest, a number that continues to hamper their chances of staying competitive. Fouling at that rate not only puts key players in foul trouble early, but also allows opponents to score without the clock running, something no struggling offense can afford. Their defensive rotations are frequently late, which leads to unnecessary fouls as they try to recover, and opponents are often rewarded for attacking the rim. Despite their struggles, the Sun are converting on 80.3% of their attempts from the free throw line, one of their few consistent strengths. That efficiency at the stripe is commendable, especially for a team that finds itself trailing in most contests. However, they aren't getting to the line often enough to make it a major scoring weapon. Improving their ability to draw contact and get inside more consistently could help pad scoring totals and keep them competitive in closer games. When it comes to offensive execution, Connecticut is connecting on just 39.9% of their shots from the field, ranking 13th in basketball. This low shooting percentage underscores their struggles to create and convert quality looks. Poor ball movement, limited spacing, and a lack of consistent shooters have made scoring a chore. Even when they do get open looks, the Sun have struggled with confidence and shot rhythm, often settling for mid-range jumpers rather than attacking the basket. They are earning an assist just 16.5 times per game, also 13th in the league, further reflecting their stagnant offense. Their assist numbers point to a lack of chemistry and playmaking, especially from the backcourt. The offense often becomes predictable and heavily reliant on isolation or high pick-and-roll actions that defenses can easily anticipate and neutralize. Without a true floor general to orchestrate the offense, the Suns struggle to generate open looks or capitalize on mismatches. Additionally, Connecticut turns the ball over 13.8 times per contest, which, while not the worst in the league, is still too high for a team with such a low offensive output. Many of these turnovers are unforced. Traveling violations, errant passes, and offensive fouls that come at inopportune moments. With their limited margin for error, every turnover becomes magnified, often leading to easy points for the opposition in transition. Defensively, the Sun have been among the least effective units in the WNBA. They rank 13th in points per game surrendered, allowing 88.0 points on average. Opponents have had little trouble breaking down their defense, often finding success with simple ball movement and quick penetration. Whether due to a lack of defensive communication, slow lateral footwork, or poor effort on closeouts, Connecticut has been unable to consistently get stops when they need them most. Opponents are shooting 34.6% from behind the three-point line against the Sun, 187 of 541, another area of concern. Their perimeter defense has been especially suspect, with late rotations and blown assignments allowing shooters to camp outside the arc and fire away with little resistance. The inability to contest shots at the three-point line has allowed opponents to stretch the defense, opening up driving lanes and post mismatches. Adding to their woes, their opposition knocks down 80.2% of free throw attempts, meaning that when they foul, their opponents often convert. This combination of excessive fouling and efficient opponent shooting from the stripe has cost them dearly in close games and contributes to their inflated defensive numbers. Rebounding has also been a major issue on the defensive end, with Connecticut giving up 36.9 total boards per game. Last in the WNBA, the inability to box out, combined with a lack of physical presence in the paint, has left them vulnerable to second-chance points and has extended possessions for their opponents. Often, defensive sequences that begin with a solid contest are nullified by failure to secure the rebound. Finally, Connecticut is allowing teams to shoot 46.4% from the field, which ranks 13th in the league, dead last. That high shooting percentage allowed is the result of porous defense at all three levels: poor containment on drives, weak rim protection, and slow rotations to shooters. This inefficiency on defense, combined with their offensive woes, has led to many lopsided losses and few signs of consistent competitiveness. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Los Angeles ML. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Seattle Storm versus Chicago Sky. Wintrust Arena is the venue where the Chicago Sky, 7-16, will play the Seattle Storm 14-10 on Thursday. The Seattle Storm played the Dallas Wings and took a loss by a final of 87-63 in their last game. Seattle walked away from the contest having earned a 30.7% field goal percentage, 23 of 75, and converted 4 of their 21 three-pointers. From the charity stripe, the Storm made 13 of their 14 tries for a rate of 92.9%. When talking about rebounding, they collected a total of 34, with 6 of them being of the offensive sort. They also doled out 18 assists for this game, while forcing the opposition into 15 turnovers and earning 8 steals. In the matter of defense, Seattle allowed their opponent to shoot 45.1% from the field on 32 of 71 shooting. Dallas doled out 9 dimes and had 6 steals in the matchup. In addition, Dallas pulled down 48 rebounds, 9 offensive, 39 defensive, and added 7 rejections. Dallas ended up shooting 76.5% from the charity stripe by knocking down 13 of their 17 attempts. They converted 10 of 23 shots from beyond the arc. Nneka Ogwumike is a player who came through for this game. She ended up walking away with 22 points on 10 of 19 shooting. She saw the court for 26 minutes and grabbed 2 rebounds. Ogwumike finished shooting 52.6% from the floor, but didn't record a dime. Seattle comes into this game with a win-loss record of 14-10 so far this year. They turn the ball over 11.9 times per game, and as a group, they commit 17.3 personal fouls per game. As a team, Seattle is pulling in 31.2 boards per game and has racked up 500 dimes for the season, which ranks second in basketball in terms of passing the rock. The Storm are shooting 33.4% on shots from three-point land, 177 of 530, and 77.7% from the charity stripe. They average 80.2 points per outing, 9th in the league, while shooting 44.1% from the field. Defensively, the Storm are forcing 14.7 turnovers per contest, and they draw 17.0 personal fouls. They rank 8th in the WNBA in giving up assists, with 454 conceded on the season. The Storm defensively are giving up a field goal percentage of 43.3%, 353 of 408, and they relinquish 36.0 boards per contest as a unit. They give up 32.9% on shots from distance, and they are third in the league in PPG allowed, 78.5. The last time they took the hardwood, the Chicago Sky took a loss by a score of 91-68 when they played the Minnesota Lynx. The Sky corralled 24 defensive boards and 12 offensive boards for a total of 36 for the contest. They gave up possession of the ball 21 times, while getting 6 steals for this contest. The Lynx had 15 fouls for this contest, which got the Sky to the charity stripe for 16 attempts. They were able to convert 13 of them for a clip of 81.3%. In regard to shots from beyond the perimeter, Chicago made 7 of 16 attempts, 43.8%. When the game finished, the Sky ended up going 24 for 61 from the field, which gave them a shooting percentage of 39.3%. The Sky permitted the Lynx to convert 31 of their 70 attempts from the floor, which had them sitting at 44.3% in this game. They shot 31.0% from three-point land by connecting on 9 of 29 and ended up shooting 20 out of 24 at the free throw line, 83.3%. Concerning how they rebounded, Chicago permitted Minnesota to grab 31 overall, 10 offensive. Kia Nurse pitched in for the Sky for this game. She made 5 out of 10 in the matchup for a field goal rate of 50.0% and had 8 rebounds. Nurse had 16 points in her 33 minutes on the court and accounted for 1 assist in the matchup. Chicago has a win-loss mark of 7-16 for the campaign, and their current position reflects a team struggling to find rhythm on both ends of the floor. Despite flashes of competitiveness and some standout individual performances, the Sky have yet to string together enough consistency to rise in the standings. They've had close games that slipped away late, defensive lapses that erased early leads, and scoring droughts that proved too costly to overcome. With a few tweaks and improved execution, the Sky still have the pieces to play spoiler down the stretch, even if postseason hopes are fading. Chicago has scored 1,784 points this year, averaging 77.6 points per game. This scoring output ranks near the bottom of the WNBA, revealing their difficulties in generating efficient and consistent offense. Part of the issue has been the lack of a true go-to scorer who can create in isolation, and their offensive sets often rely on ball movement rather than individual brilliance. While that can create open looks when executed well, the Sky have struggled with spacing, finishing inside, and converting from mid-range at a high level. There's also been a clear dependence on transition opportunities to generate offense, and when opponents force them into a half-court game, their efficiency suffers. They are snagging 36.6 rebounds per contest, a mark that keeps them afloat on the glass. Ranking in the top half of the league in rebounding, the Sky do a decent job of crashing the boards, especially on the defensive end, with multiple players contributing in that area. However, their rebounding advantage doesn't always translate into extra possessions or second chance points due to their low field goal percentage. Rebounding remains one of the few categories where Chicago maintains an edge, and they'll need to continue dominating this area to stay competitive in games where their offense sputters. The Sky have committed 19.0 personal fouls per game, a number that continues to hurt them in close contests. This tendency to foul frequently allows opponents easy trips to the free throw line, bailing them out of difficult possessions and slowing the game down. Combined with their own offensive struggles, these fouls often lead to scoring runs that put Chicago in tough positions to mount comebacks. Their discipline, particularly on closeouts and when defending the paint, must improve if they want to reverse this trend. From the free throw line, Chicago is shooting 76.9%, which ranks around league average. This reliability at the stripe is a bright spot, as they don't leave too many points behind at the line. However, given the number of close games they've lost, even a small bump in this percentage could make a significant difference. Their ability to draw fouls and get to the line has also been inconsistent. limiting their chances to capitalize on one of the more efficient scoring opportunities in basketball. Offensively, the Sky are shooting 42.0% from the field, which ranks 9th in the league. This field goal percentage indicates below-average efficiency and a lack of high-quality shot creation. Chicago often struggles against teams that defend the paint well, and their perimeter shooting hasn't been consistent enough to stretch defenses. The lack of spacing clogs driving lanes and leads to contested looks late in the shot clock. Their offensive struggles can also be attributed to an imbalance in ball movement and occasional stagnation in half-court sets. They are dishing out assists 19.0 times per contest, ranking 9th in the WNBA. This suggests that while the Sky move the ball decently, it's not always translating into efficient scoring. The ball movement is often too predictable, and without elite shot creators, they struggle to convert those passes into high-percentage makes. When they do find rhythm, the offense can hum along nicely, but it's rare that it sustains over 4 quarters. Turnovers have also plagued Chicago, as they give the ball away 15.8 times per contest. These miscues come in many forms: unforced errors, miscommunication on passes, and dribbling into traffic. The high turnover rate offsets the few offensive runs they're able to string together and frequently turns into fast break points for the opposition. Protecting the basketball must become a point of emphasis if they hope to close the gap with more disciplined teams. On the defensive end, the Sky rank 11th in the league in points allowed per game, surrendering 86.5 per contest. This has been one of the team's biggest weaknesses, as they've been unable to string together consistent defensive stops. Whether it's struggling to defend pick and rolls, slow help rotations, or giving up too many open threes, the Sky's defense often breaks down when facing top-tier offenses. Their inability to control the pace and their reliance on fouling exacerbates these issues. They have conceded 21.3 assists and 33.8 rebounds per game, ranking 11th and 5th in the WNBA, respectively. While their rebounding numbers on the defensive end are respectable, the high number of assists allowed is a concern. It signals defensive lapses, especially in rotating out to shooters and miscommunication when switching. Chicago often allows opponents to move the ball too freely, leading to open looks and easy baskets inside the arc. Their perimeter defense is particularly vulnerable, as the Sky surrender 36.8% shooting from three-point range, 230 of 625, one of the worst marks in the league. Opponents are often able to get clean looks from beyond the arc, especially in transition or after collapsing the defense. This lack of effective closeouts and overhelping on drives has left their perimeter exposed throughout the season. Opponents are making 73.3% of their shots from the charity stripe, a relatively average mark, but still one that reflects Chicago's tendency to foul. While they aren't getting burned by free throw percentage, they are still giving away too many free points. They are forcing only 12.0 turnovers per game, a number that ranks near the bottom of the league and emphasizes their passive defensive approach. Without applying much pressure or forcing mistakes, the Sky allow their opponents to operate comfortably in the half court. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Seattle ML. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box.